reacting to this. We've got to go on the offense. We got to meet people where they are. But I also think this, and this is where, this is part of the conversation I'm trying to have, is you got to respect people you disagree with, and you can't just dismiss people. This
How
notion
do you fight it?
This notion
I think
of
I could kick most of their ass. I do think that if they wanted to. I know I can outrun them, but I don't know if we're going to fall into that place where we want to. Okay, we challenge you to a WWE fight here type of thing.
No, but it's a natural reaction. I think it's one of the reasons we're losing so many men. And again, it's multi-ethnic. It's not just white men. We're losing them. We're losing them to these guys online. We're losing them people that I'm bringing on this podcast as well. That's why I brought.
These are bad guys, though. These are bad guys.
But they exist, and we could deny they exist. They exist. Not only they exist, they persist, and they're actually influencing young kids every single day.
How do we push some of those guys back under a rock?
I think we have to first understand what their motivations are. I think we have to understand what they're actually doing. And
you don't
I think that's
it's racism and misogyny?
Tim Walz is now saying about Trump supporters, and forgive me, I'm just reading a quote from Tim Walz, "I think I could kick most of their ass."
Oh boy, he'd be in trouble.
Is there any way to know?
Well, he's a loser. Yeah, I mean, he's a loser. He lost an election. He played a part. Usually a vice president doesn't play a part, they say. I think Tim played a part. I think he was so bad that he hurt her. But she hurt herself, and Joe hurt them both. They didn't have a great group, but I would probably put him at the bottom of the group.
Boy. So we got to talk about Tim Sugar Walz stepping in it once again, okay? He put his foot in his mouth due to the fact that he went on Gavin Newsom's podcast and challenged Trump supporters to a fight, right? He basically said that he could beat any Trump supporter's ass, which we all know is not true, okay? And this is Tim Walz trying to pretend to be a man's man because his version of masculinity, which MSNBC calls modern masculinity, okay, which is not something to celebrate or to be proud of, okay? When CNN, MSNBC, when the liberal feminists are praising your version of masculinity, just understand that it is basically femininity, okay? And that's what Tim Walz represented on the campaign trail with Kamala Harris, a feminine man, the exact type of man that young men don't want to be. And this is why young men ran away from the Democrats and Kamala Harris when it came time to vote. And Tim Walz, clearly he's upset. He's upset that, again, the main reason why Kamala picked him, which is to represent what Democrats see as the masculine man, right? The main reason he was picked to get men to vote for Kamala Harris, he failed, okay? He epically failed. And we can tell that he's very hurt, right? He's personally hurt by the fact that his version of masculinity has been rejected, okay? And this is why he's out here now talking about how he can beat people in fights and stuff like that. Again, because he's hurt. He's personally very, very, very hurt, okay? And it bothers him. And I don't know, man, maybe it should, because he's being roasted by people like Joe Rogan, because everybody can clearly see that this guy is bothered by some of the criticisms from MAGA. Take a look.
Now, like, Trump's just running ragged, flying high, having all of this fun. What are they doing? Like, what do you do when you've lost two people have lost a campaign in the space of 6 months?
I don't know. Tim Walz is out there talking again.
You say he could fight any Trump supporter?
Yeah, he says he'd kick their ass, and they're scared of him because he could fix a truck. They're threatened by his masculinity. I know how to fix a truck. That's what he said. I'm like, do you? I bet you don't.
The lady doth protest too much.
I bet you don't.
I fear.
I bet if I bring a broken truck to you and a bag of tools, you're fucked.
That was kind of the redress, right? That was the attempt. It was like, we're going to, the symbol of masculinity on the left is going to be Tim Walz. It was Aragon from Lord of the Rings, and Tim Walz.
Yeah, it's so crazy. I think they're lost. I mean, they're also lost in that they can't control the narrative anymore.
Yeah, they are lost. Okay, they're very, very, very lost. Just like Tim Walz was lost when he put out this very cringe ad that I will never forget, right? In which he clearly forgot that he was supposed to be showing people how to fix a truck, but all he did was take out the air filter and put it back in and claim that he was showing people how to fix a truck.
All right, this thing, old school carburetor. You can always tell something about somebody's maintenance when how clean their air filter is. Look, to be able to work on this thing, you got a manual.
It shows you exactly what to do to fix things on this. Donald Trump and J.D. Vance have a manual too. It's called Project 2025, and it's a way to stick it to the middle class while giving tax cuts to the wealthiest. Look, they didn't give me a manual for this if you didn't plan on using it to fix your truck. They didn't create that Project 2025 just to have it set around as a doorstop. We know who these guys are. We know they got a playbook to rig the economy. Let's make sure it doesn't. And you can always tell, again, somebody, if they keep a clean air filter, they do good maintenance.
Yeah, so this guy, Tim Walz, for whatever reason, Kamala's campaign thought it'd be a good idea to record a video of this dude proving that he's a man's man by pretending to fix a truck while at the same time telling the viewers, hey, just read the manual, right? If you want to know how to fix a truck, read the manual, okay? Very masculine of Tim, okay, just to tell people to read the manual while taking out an air filter and then putting the air filter back in, right? Not really doing anything at all, right? He didn't show us how to fix the truck. He didn't show us anything, okay? He just pushed propaganda. That's all he did. But here's the thing, okay, that Democrats don't realize. If you have a male candidate, okay, and he has to come out here and to prove that he's masculine, that he's a man's man, or that he's straight, then you've already lost, right? You've already lost. You picked the wrong guy, right? If you have to come out here and to prove these things to the American people, you picked the wrong guy, okay? If the intention was to use Tim Walz to attract men, okay, to get men of normal testosterone levels to vote for Democrats, yeah, you picked the wrong pick, right? That's just the reality of the situation. But then again, I don't know who Kamala could have picked to fill that role, because men of normal testosterone are not Democrats, right? They're not liberal. Like, I mean, that's just what it is. Okay, a vast majority of these liberal men, they're older. Okay, they're guys in which they're past their heyday. Okay, their testosterone levels are dropping, and this is why they're so sympathetic to the Democrat Party and they hate Trump. But Tim Walz, like I said, he's put his foot in his mouth, which again is something that he did basically from day one, okay, because he lies about everything. If this man's mouth is moving, he's lying, okay? We learned that when his stolen valor accusations came to the light, right? Which this dude lied about carrying weapons of war into war. Dude never fought a war, okay? Never carry any weapons of war into war, but that's what he claimed, okay? The dude also lied about how he had his kids. He lied about his DUI, lied about his military rank. I mean, the dude has lied about his whole life, to be honest with you, okay? And again, the latest lie that Tim Walz has told here, which is that he could beat Trump supporters' asses, right? Because that is a big lie. Probably one of the biggest lies he's ever told, right? That has gotten to some trouble because a GOP mayor who happens to be a former WWE wrestler, Glenn Jacobs of Knox County, Virginia, has accepted Tim Walz's challenge to a fight, right? So now Glenn Jacobs, who again is a legend, okay, WWE Hall of Famer, he is responding to Tim Walz and saying, yes, I accept your challenge to a fight. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this.
You know, a WWE fight here type of thing.
WWE got us thinking. WWE Hall of Famer Kane, real name Glenn Jacobs, is here with us, mayor now of Knox County, Tennessee. Is Tim Walz a worthy opponent for you?
No, he's not, but he threw down the gauntlet, so I had to pick it up.
All right, and this is now a challenge?
Yes, when Governor Walz said that he could kick most Trump supporters' rears, in a WWE style match, actually, I figured that, well, I mean, I may as well call him on that. If you're going to say something like that, you have to expect someone's going to take up the challenge. So I challenged him to a charity wrestling contest.
Have you heard back?
Facts. Hey, and all I'm saying is that if Tim Walz really wants to prove his masculinity, he has a prime opportunity, okay? If this man actually accepted this, which he won't, right? But if he really wants to prove it that bad, then yeah, get in the ring with Kane, right? Get in the ring with Kane. I think that if Tim Walz is really about that life, okay, if he's really trying to throw some hands, okay, if he's really trying to square up, right, if he really wants to beat up a Trump supporter, then, hey, I think that him and Kane, that would be a pretty good chance for him to prove himself, right? But I don't think he's going to do it.
I have not at this point. And that's unfortunate because I already have a corporate title sponsor. I'm serious about this. Lots of people have pledged money. I figure we could raise several $100,000 with this event, and it would all go to charity. We'd split the gate 50-50. Half would go to my charity, half would go to his. So it's a great opportunity actually to have some fun, but then also to benefit a great cause.
Okay, so I'm a golfer. I never really watched wrestling, forgive me, but that probably doesn't come as a surprise to anybody. But in that sense, like in golf, you have handicaps, right? For better golfers, you know, they have to give strokes to the worst golfers.
Sure.
Would it be fair that like you'd have to do this with one hand tied behind your back or something?
Yeah, we could figure out some sort of stipulation to even the odds a little bit, because I think that he would be facing a huge uphill battle. I think he's about 6'1" and 230 pounds. I'm legitimately 6'8" and still about 300 pounds. And he does not have the pedigree that I have in combat sports. So, yeah, and look, I mean, I'd be open to that. We can have some negotiations about what kind of contest that he would feel comfortable that he could at least survive, I guess.
Okay. Here's the thing. I don't think there should be a handicap. Let's keep it 100. Tim Walz was talking a lot of trash, right? He said, I can beat all of their asses, right? So, again, why does a man that's talking like that, why does he need a handicap? He don't need a handicap, right? And, you know, whatever happens, happens, because Tim Walz, he's a man's man, okay? And he wants to prove it so bad. So a man's man would not need a handicap, right? A man's man would just go in there with what he got and do what he got to do, right? Since, again, that's what he's trying to prove to America, that, again, he's a man, right? He's very masculine. He don't need a handicap. That's all I'm saying.
I would volunteer to be the announcer if you don't already have one. But I'm going to give you the last 30 seconds here, and I think this is important. How do Democrats get their the masculinity thing back? Because we saw this shift from working class men. Was it because of culture or economics they went from Democrat to Republican?
Yeah, that's a great question. And seriously, they have a huge problem on their hands. I think what's happened is they have just catered so much to the extreme far left wing of their party that they've completely lost their way. We're talking about a party for a couple of years who has basically been saying there's no difference between a man and a woman, who has been demonizing men and really demonizing strong people. And now it's like they're flailing, trying to figure out how to get back into the game, and they just can't do it. They're listening to their consultants, and it's not working for them.
Kane, I could not think of a better guest to head into the weekend with. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks for watching. Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. I do not think that Tim Walz will be responding to that challenge, right? I think that he was just talking trash with Gavin Newsom, okay? But hey, you know, if he actually gets in the ring with Kane with no handicap, then I will actually put some respect, right, on Tim Walz's name, okay? If he actually does it, I will say, you know what, Tim? In my book, okay, you have my respect, but he's not going to do it, okay, which is why he's not going to get that. But regardless, I think that Mayor Jacobs makes a good point about the Democrats, which is that, hey, Democrats can't even get the basics right when it comes to their party, when it comes to rejecting the far left agenda. And yeah, this is why they're struggling with men. And as long as they embrace the far left, especially on social issues, men are going to run away from the Democrat Party, right? It's really that simple, okay? It's really that simple. And this is why I say that the first actually masculine man, okay, that's moderate in the Democrat Party that comes out and acknowledges basic reality, okay, basic facts, that person should be the leader of the Democrat Party, okay? Because that is the only person that would have a serious chance of winning a general election. Because right now it looks as if the leadership of the Democrat Party is going to be the AOCs, the Bernies, the Jasmine Crotchets, right? They're going to take over the Democrat Party. And if that is the direction that the Democrat Party is going in, then they're done with men, right? They're never going to win another election, at least not with the support of men, right? I'm not sure if you can win an election with damn near zero support for men, but that is the direction that Democrats are headed right now, based off what it looks like will be the outcome of the Democrat political civil war, right? Which is that the far left loonies are going to win, right? In the long run, okay? And again, if that happens, yeah, I mean, Democrats are not winning back men, which means that they probably won't win an election. I guess you could say, well, the GOP won't win women. Well, look, here's the thing. I think that the far left is much more of a turnoff to men, okay, than the quote-unquote far right is a turnoff to women. And mainly because President Trump is not far right. He's actually closer to the middle than the far right. And again, that is the difference between the Republican Democrat Party at this point. The Democrat Party is actually a party of extremism, and the Republicans and Trump are not, right? And again, that is why you're seeing things play out the way they're playing out right now for the Democrat Party. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.